Namaste, I am Yogacharya Manoj Joshi, and in this video, I'm going to show you why your brain is stuck in the wrong operating mode and how to switch it back. You're smart, you're driven, you get things done. But lately something feels off. You're working harder but thinking slower. You're productive but not creative. You're busy but not fulfilled. What if the problem isn't your workload, your job, or your motivation? What if the problem is that your brain is stuck in the wrong operating mode? Your brain runs on two operating systems. Let me explain. The first is what I call stress mode. This is powered by your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. When it's active, your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, your focus narrows, and your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Stress mode is designed for survival. It's brilliant at keeping you alert, reactive, and ready for threats. And in the modern world, it gets triggered by deadlines, notifications, meetings, emails, and traffic. The second is recovery mode. This is powered by your parasympathetic nervous system. When it's active, your heart rate slows, your muscles relax, your breathing deepens, and your body enters a state of rest and restoration. This is where healing happens, where creativity flows, where deep thinking becomes possible. Here's the critical insight. Sustained high performance requires alternating between these two modes. The best athletes, the best thinkers, the best creators all train both their output and their recovery with equal rigor. But the modern knowledge worker's default setting is locked in stress mode. All day, every day, we've optimized our lives for output and completely neglected recovery. Let me describe what happens when you live in stress mode too long. In a healthy cycle, your stress rises to meet a challenge, then returns to a calm baseline afterward. Rise, return, like waves in the ocean. But in the overload cycle, your stress rises and never fully comes back down. The next challenge hits before you've recovered from the last one. Each peak is higher than the one before, and your baseline keeps creeping upward. Eventually, you hit what I call the system failure threshold. This isn't a metaphor, it's a physiological reality. Research identifies 3 distinct failure signals of an overloaded nervous system: emotional exhaustion, functional detachment, and a reduced sense of accomplishment. Sound familiar? That's because high performer cognitive fatigue is a physiological reality, not a lack of drive or motivation. You don't need more motivation. Your nervous system needs a reset. Here's the paradigm shift that changed everything for me as a practitioner and teacher. Elite performers don't just train for focus, they train for recovery with equal rigor. Think about professional athletes. They don't just train harder, they invest massive resources in sleep, nutrition, and active recovery. They understand that performance happens in the cycle between effort and rest. Knowledge workers haven't figured this out yet. We celebrate the hustle. We wear exhaustion as a badge, and then we wonder why we burn out. Recovery is not the absence of work. Recovery is a trainable skill, and the tool for training it is Yoga Nidra. In the Awake 21 framework I teach, I call this the peak performance cycle, an infinity loop between intense focus and output on one side and intentional deep reset on the other. Both sides are necessary. Both can be strengthened through practice. The goal is intentional mental clarity through trained nervous system regulation. Yoga Nidra A is the most efficient recovery technology I've encountered in 20 years of practice. Here's why. It targets the exact mechanisms that get disrupted by chronic stress. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system through breath regulation. It releases accumulated muscular tension through the body scan. It quiets the default mode network, the brain network responsible for rumination, worry, and self-referential thinking. And it shifts your brain waves from beta to alpha to theta, creating a state of deep biological recovery in just 20 to 30 minutes. One session can feel like hours of rest. Consistent practice over 21 days can fundamentally change your nervous system's set point. I've taught this to technology professionals, healthcare workers, entrepreneurs, and students. The pattern is always the same. Within the first week, they notice they're calmer. By week 2, their sleep improves. By week 3, people around them start asking what changed. What changed is their biological baseline shifted. Their nervous system learned a new default. If you're a high performer who's been running in stress mode for too long, I want you to try something. Don't think of this as meditation. Think of it as nervous system maintenance. The same way you maintain your car, your computer, your body at the gym. Your nervous system needs maintenance too. I've created free 3-day tracks right here on this channel. If stress is your primary challenge, start with the stress reset. If mental overload is the issue, try the mental reset. If you're not sleeping well, the sleep reset is your entry point. Pick one. Try day 1 tonight. Give your nervous system something it hasn't had in a long time. Permission to recover. I'm Yogacharya Manoj from WellnessByAllMeans. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the practice. Namaste.